My entire life, I've always felt like I'm behind from other people. I felt like other people's lives just seem to work out for them and mine doesn't. I watched seemingly everyone I know get partnered up before I found my person. I watched everyone figure out their careers before I seemed to figure out mine. It just seems like things come easily to other people and not for me. If you can relate to that feeling, then this episode is for you.
Hello and welcome to Blush, the world's first wellness show that's actually entertaining. I'm Hiva and I quit law so I can help you look and feel your best. Together, we get into food, nutrition, all the latest wellness trends, but we also laugh, get silly, drop a few F-bombs, and go on a million tangents. So if that sounds like your vibe, we're about to be best friends.
So a few weeks ago, I was scrolling TikTok and I came across this video from this girl who I only recently became familiar with. She is dating someone who's like very, very prominent. I had never heard of her before. This very pretty girl. I think she does like some marketing stuff, but she's dating someone who's very prominent in like the manifestation, new age spirituality kind of world. And she posted this TikTok where she said, if you have been trying to manifest something for a really long time and it just seems like it isn't happening, here's what's going on. She was like, it's protection. Like this thing just isn't meant for you and that's why it's not happening. And like the universe is like protecting you because like this thing isn't meant for you. And I went through a little moment of where I was like, wait, so like all the things that haven't happened yet in my career that I've been working so hard towards, like they're just not meant for me. Is that what she's saying? Like, wait, like what? And then I was thinking about it and I was like, wait, if I had seen this like 6 years ago when I really wanted to manifest a partner and it hadn't happened, I would have been like, wait, are you telling me like I'm not meant to have a partner? Like what, I'm just meant to be single forever? Like I would have gone through the same thing. And obviously now looking back on that, I'm like, of course that's not what that's meant to mean. And so I can extrapolate that and apply that here too. And then it got me thinking more just like broadly about things. And I realized that I am someone who like things don't just fall into my lap. Like things don't just like happen easily for me. But when I can get to the root of why they haven't happened and then take the steps towards them, they always fucking do. And I'll give you a really good example. So when I was in the sixth grade, we had just moved to America from Germany, and I was really pissed because in Germany, the sixth grade was middle school, but I went to a private school, by the way. In actual German schools, fifth grade, you go to a different school. So first through fourth is like elementary school. And then from fifth grade on, you go to one of three different types of high schools. But I went to a private school in Germany. And so it was more of like an American system. I went to the international school. So sixth through eighth grade was middle school. And then ninth through 12th was high school. So I was all excited to be in fucking middle school, and then we moved to America and I have to go back to elementary school, and I was like, fuck this bullshit. I was so displeased. Like I was so ready to like be a little preteen, you know? Anyway, so we moved to America. We're in elementary school and there's recess every day. And in recess, there was like this phase of the sixth grade where everyone got really into jumping off of the swings. Like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, did you guys do this as a kid where like you swing on the swing and when you're all the way at the top, you like jump off, and people started doing that. And we'd even do this thing where like people would lay down on the ground and you'd like jump off and jump over all these people. And it looked so fucking fun. And I'd lay down on the ground sometimes, but I'd never jump off the swing because I'm terrified of heights. I'm actually like terrified of literally everything. Like I'm such like a timid, like afraid kind of person. I'm so afraid of adventure. I'm afraid of cars. I'm afraid of roller coasters. I'm afraid of the ocean. Like so many things I want to do in my life I don't do because I'm literally too scared to do it. And that was one that I really, really wanted to do. Like the swings thing looked so fucking fun and I wanted to do it so badly, but I was just way too fucking scared. So one weekend, we have this like really close family friend who she was like a bit in between like a sister and a mother to me. She grew up in my childhood home and we have a very, very close relationship. And so one day, I'm going to call her Nancy for the purposes of this episode. So one day to Nancy, I was like, hey, it was a weekend. I was like, can you take me to the playground? Because like, I want to learn how to do this swings thing. And she was like, sure. And I have to say, I'm so fucking grateful to her because if I had asked my parents, like, my parents are like even bigger scaredy cats than I am. So they would have been like, this is dangerous. You shouldn't be doing this, blah, blah. But also like they wouldn't have had the patience to sit there all day. Nancy and I go to the park. I think we were there for like 10 hours on a Sunday at like actually my actual elementary school playground. We went, for some reason the doors were fucking open, so we just go. And at first I get on the swing and the swing goes like, I'm not even joking, like an inch off the ground. Like my feet are pretty much on the ground and I like jump off that. And then I get back on the swing and I go a little back and forth and I go about like 6 inches off the ground and I jump off that. And then I keep going and I like stay there for a while, after like 30 minutes, I get like a full foot off the ground and I jump off the swing there. And after another, 6 rounds of doing that, I get like 2 feet off the ground and I jump off. And by the end of the fucking day, I could get all the way to the top with the swings and jump off and go flying down onto the ground. And then when I went to school that Monday, I was like, guys, are you ready to jump off swings? And everyone's like, no, you dumb cunt, we're over it. Now we do something else now. I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. I was able to jump off the swings with my friends. I was able to finally fucking do it because I took all that time and I worked on it step by step until I was able to do the thing. I was able to identify why I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I was scared. And I systematically broke down that fear until the point I was able to do it. And then I was able to have a lot of fucking fun with my friends. Now, am I able to jump off the swings now? No. I haven't done it in years. I'd probably have to go through that same 10-hour training camp to be able to get there and be able to jump off the swings again. But nevertheless, I was able to do it at the time when it mattered so much to me. And I think that is the energy that we all need to carry with us through life. Like if there's something that you want that you don't have yet, there's a reason why you don't have it. And you kind of have to transform yourself into the version of you that could have that thing. Like I wanted to jump off the swings. I had to become someone who was less afraid. In order to become someone who's less afraid, I had to work on that fear and do exposure therapy in real time and really work on it and be persistent and take myself out of my comfort zone and put time towards it. And these are things that most of us aren't willing to do. And instead we sit and we fixate on like, okay, but like, why was Mary able to jump off the swings without spending 10 hours at the playground over the weekend and annoying the shit out of Nancy and like training herself to become fearless so that she does it? And the truth is, I don't know. I actually don't know why some things seem to come so easily to some people and they're a lot harder for other people. I don't know why some people meet their soulmate in high school and other people have to go through their entire 20s, entire 30s, sometimes entire 40s, etc. until they meet someone that they can really build a life with. I don't know why some people go viral their first time posting something and then they get a record deal and then they have a music career that's set for them, and other people have to meet with like 6,000 producers and have to deal with like lecherous guys making gross comments at them and just have to like hustle every fucking day and do vocal training and do all these things. I really don't know why some things come so easily to some people and they're harder for other people. Like I wish I knew the answer, but one thing I can tell you as someone who's had to work really fucking hard for most things that I have in my life, when you have to put in more effort, it does make it mean more. And I really can compare because there are some things that have very easily dropped into my life, and I don't really appreciate those things very much. But the things that I really did have to hustle and struggle for, like for example, my relationship with Ozzy, it is the thing that I cherish the most in my life because I know the hell I went through before to get myself to a version of a person who could be in such like a relatively peaceful and harmonious relationship. And I'm really fucking grateful for that. I know all the douchebags I've dated in the past and just like shitty fucking relationships I've had. And that makes me appreciate this one tenfold more. Same thing with like every milestone I've achieved in my career. I'm so happy that it's come as hard as it has because I am so fucking grateful for it. So I think instead of wondering like, why not me? Why not now? We should reframe, and what we should really be asking is, who do I have to be in order to get this thing, and how can I get there? And then just like me and Nancy and that day on the playground with the swings, just like systematically working towards it, I think that we can systematically work towards our goals. And if you're thinking like, okay, Hiva, this is like all well and good and amazing, and like, thank you so much for this advice, but like you knew exactly what to do. Like you knew you just had to go practice on the swings until you are able to do it. Like I don't have swings in my situation. Like I don't actually literally know what to do. I have a few bits of advice for you. Number one, I've been doing this thing lately where at night when I get into bed, I write down a question to ask the universe, and then I wait for the answer in my sleep, in my dreams, in the morning when I do my morning pages. And sometimes the answer doesn't come. Like there's like one question I've been asking over and over and over again, and I haven't gotten the answer, but oftentimes you do get an answer that way. I mean, I remember just a few weeks ago, and I talked about this in last week's episode, I asked like something, it was like, what's holding me back from like being more creative, blah, 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 blah. And the answer that came up for me when I got really, really sick, and I was, just go back and listen to last week's episode, but basically I was sick and I was in a week of the Artist's Way where we were supposed to do like a bit of a digital detox or something. So I wasn't scrolling social media. I was sick. I had like nothing to do. I was bored out of my fucking mind. I realized that I needed to embrace more boredom. And once I started to do that, then my intuition opened and I could hear all these other messages and I started implementing all this other stuff. But basically I did get that answer. Sometimes you don't really get an answer, or you're not sure, or you don't really like, it's like you think you know something, but you're not sure because you're like, wait, is this actually my intuition or is it something else? In that scenario, I would ask for a specific sign. So like, let's say you asked a question, you're like, okay, who do I have to be in order to find my partner? Like, I don't get why this has happened for everyone I know, but not me. Like what is missing? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what do I need to be doing? And then let's say in the morning when you were journaling, something that came up for you was that like, you need to, put more effort into socializing. Right. But you're like, but wait, is that just like my brain trying to answer that question? Or is that like an actual message that like intuitively came up for me? I'm not really sure. What I do in that scenario at that point is I create like a clear-cut sign. So let's say you're like, okay, if that is the answer to my question, then universe, show me a unicorn today. And then as you're like going through your day, be on the lookout. See if you see like a unicorn on a poster somewhere. Like maybe when you're scrolling your phone, do you see a unicorn? Now don't go like crazy trying to find a unicorn, but just progress through your day and be open to seeing this sign. And that'll then be confirmation that that's the thing that you do. Now, let's say you don't have either of these. You get like no messages, there's no signs, like you just like, you really are at a fucking loss. Like, what do I do? Then I would do one of two things. Either do the thing that scares you the most, like the scariest thing you could think of, like the thing that you're like, nah, I could never fucking do that, or do the thing that you always put off that's just like really fucking hard for you, that you just like never want to get around to doing. Start chipping away at those, because just like that discipline of doing those is going to make you feel so much better about yourself. And I also really think it's then you're going to see the next step. You know, I was saying this to Ozzy the other day about this health stuff that I'm dealing with. I was like, I don't know the whole staircase. Like, I really don't. But I know the next step that I need to take. And I think once I take that step, the step after that will become clear to me. Then the step after that will become clear to me. Then the step after that will become clear to me. Sometimes we know the whole staircase. Like in the case with the swings when I was 11 with Nancy and the playground, I knew the whole staircase. I knew step 1 was to jump when the swing was barely off the ground. By the way, I just want to say I was 11 years old and I intuitively knew how to do what's it called? Exposure. Oh my God, what's it called? No, I'm completely blanking. What's it called when you like, it's like gradually, it's exposure therapy. Like I came up with exposure therapy on my own, like fucking baby genius. Look at what I was like before. You know, poor things on haywire. Anyway. No, just like a moment for that. I should be so proud of that I came up with that entirely on my own. Like I didn't even talk to anyone about it or anything, but I knew the whole staircase, right? I knew step 1 was to jump off when the swing was barely off the ground. I knew step 2 was to jump off when the swing was a little bit more off the ground. I knew step 3 was to jump off when the swing was even more off the ground, and so on and so forth. I knew the whole staircase. I knew each step was just another elevation of the swing and me jumping off. But more often than not, we don't know the whole staircase, but we usually do know the first step. And you've got to just take that step and let the next step show itself to you, and so on and so forth. So don't be discouraged by something that hasn't happened for you yet. Like, I get it. It's hard. Like, I get how shitty that fucking feels. I know how hard it is to look around and see everyone else have the thing that you've wanted all this time. And you're like, why is it not happening for me? And why is it happening for everyone else? And the truth of the matter is, I don't know why it's happening for everyone else other than you, but I can tell you that when you get it, it'll mean more to you, and it'll probably be a lot more sustainable too. Like, it's probably gonna last a lot longer. You know, it's funny, before I found Ozzy, I felt like everyone I knew was in relationships, like literally everyone. I was like, what, like, did everyone, like, was there a day in school that was like, get matched up with your partner, and I like called in sick that day? Like, I don't understand, where did you guys all find each other? Like, I don't understand what happened. I literally felt like I was the last single person in the world. But now that we've been together for like whatever, 4.5, almost 5, I don't fucking know, years, I look around and I feel like most people I see are single. Like, all the people that were all partnered up back then, most of those relationships have ended. Like, ours has actually outlasted a lot. And I think it's in large part because it did happen later, because we both had worked on ourselves a lot by the time we found each other. A lot of other things in my life too, like it took longer for them to happen, but they've also lasted longer. They've been a lot more fulfilling, and I really do think that is the case. A slow burn tends to burn longer. That really does tend to be the case. So I'm not telling you that that's why it's taking longer to happen for you, but I can tell you that that's something you can be grateful for. But ultimately, I get that feeling of like, okay, but I'm tired of waiting, and I just like want this to fucking happen. Here's how you make it happen. You figure out who you have to be in order to get the thing, and you start taking the right steps towards that. To bring it back to last week's episode, I realized some of the things that I want right now in my life, I don't have in my life because I actually am seeking them from a place of wanting stimulation rather than seeking them from this like really authentic, deep place. And I know if I get them at this current iteration of myself, they won't last because I'll be too dependent on them for stimulation. So when I think about who I have to be in order to reach the next level of things that I want in my life, I have to be someone who's a lot more consistent and a lot more stable and just a lot more internally validated and isn't seeking constant stimulation. And I don't know the full staircase of how to get there, but I know step one, which is what I'm currently working on, which is just embracing more boredom in my life, having more boredom time, spending time doing literally nothing, spending time just literally staring at a wall, literally doing nothing. That is how I'm molding my nervous system to become the type of person who can hold the things that I want. So the question for you now is, who do you have to be to get the things that you want? And what's the first step in the staircase for getting there? And if you are at a real fucking loss, start with like what feels the most uncomfortable for you. For me, boredom felt like truly the most uncomfortable thing in the world, and I've taken it on head on. So that's it for today. I love you guys so much. I had foods that make you blush, yada, yada, but I just think this is a really strong place to end. So we're going to cut all that noise and just go for it. Okay. I love you guys. We'll chat next week. Bye.
If you loved that episode as much as I hope you did, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing, and check out some past episodes while you wait for the new one to drop next week. And until next week, make sure to stay cunty out there.